Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of our SoCal housing market update for first-time home buyers. My name is Stephen Meade with Domicile Real Estate, where we are on a mission to help California's renters become homeowners. We actually got a new camera this week, so I hope you guys are enjoying that. I think I come across look a little bit better here. I want to talk about something before we start that's kind of interesting, and that is that I think human beings, and especially home buyers, seem to fall under this belief that the way things happen in the past is the way they're going to happen again. And sometimes that is true, right? Like we've learned lesson, history does repeat, but a lot of times we fall under this kind of false prophecy, right, of thinking that we can predict the future. So a lot of this comes down to old adages, right, in the real estate industry. And some of these still might remain true, but others might not. So a good example of that is always buy the worst house on the nicest street. I'd say that one probably still holds true a good percentage of the time, though you might find that results in you buying a house that you absolutely hate that doesn't even work for your function because it's too small, all because you were told you should be on the best street. Another adage is that the condo market always moves first whenever there are signs of trouble in the housing market. And I will tell you, I think that one, we can put that one to rest. And I'm going to talk about why in a second, and why we're seeing condos actually move differently and behaving in a stronger way than single family homes right now, and why I think that is and why that's happening. And if you're a first time home buyer, this might be of particular importance to you. And I'll just preface this by saying, we tend to look at things in a very simple way as human beings and as home buyers, right? And we look at it as a simple variable. You do this, you do A, and B will change. And unfortunately, the market is a lot more complex than that. People react. They are reactive to news. They don't just behave in sort of a robotic manner. And a good example of that is interest rates, right? So when interest rates go up, and that's what's happened last month, I think the natural response is to say, well, buyers are going to go away. Okay, that's true. Some of those buyers will be priced out. But some buyers, for example, might say, well, I was going to use a 30-year fixed rate loan to buy my home, but now that rate is too high. Before I wouldn't look at adjustable rate loans, but now I'm going to take a look at those adjustable rate loans because of that. So you see a lot of ways where there's kind of like some grease in the wheels, and some of these variables are a little squishy, for lack of a better term. And I think property type is another one of those variables, and why that condo market is moving differently. So let's go ahead and take a look at our data. All right, so we're going to go back to the beginning here. So first of all, I want to talk a little bit about pricing. And if you look here at pricing, what you see is that things kind of ran up in the spring, and now these prices have kind of leveled out to some degree, right? We're really seeing things just kind of like hanging out more in a straight line. Now, bear in mind, these are closed prices, so these are dictating really where we were about 4 to 6 weeks ago in our market. So let me go ahead and get rid of this little window here. There we go. If we look at our monthly payment, we kind of see something else interesting happening too. Our monthly payment jumped up, but that too has actually hit a little bit of a flat line, right? That's actually hit a little bit of a spot that if you look here where that arrow is, a little bit of a spot that is flattened out as well. And that's happening both for our single family homes and for our condo market. So if we look at our household income, that too has, not surprisingly, flattened out to some degree. Let me find this guy and delete it here. Now let's look at our absorption rate. So, our absorption rates, this is kind of interesting. Generally, we have seen our condo market actually be a little bit stronger than our single family market so far this year. And I think that's kind of fascinating, right? Because again, the old adage is that if there's any weakness in the housing market, you're going to see it in that condo market first. And I don't think that's true right now. look right now, this week, 85% absorption rate for past 14 days, still very strong for condos, 74% for single family, not quite as strong. Still a strong number, admittedly, but not as strong as that condo market. And if we look at our total inventory, right, this really tells another story. So our red line is our entry-level single-family homes. We are approaching our maximum inventory level that we saw in 2021, right? Our peak, which was sort of that through July and August. And we are actually about to hit that number in terms of number of entry-level single-family homes available on the market. But look at our condo market. Our condo market inventory is going up, but it's not going up as fast. And compared to where we were last year, it is still half where we were last year for those entry-level condos. And I've got some theories on that, but a big one is buyers are changing their preferences. When I bought my first home, I'm going to go off screen share here. When I bought for my first home, the goal was always for everyone to buy a single family home. I'm not sure that's true anymore for a couple of reasons. One, I think there's some buyers that say, I don't know if I want that maintenance. I want a lifestyle where I could rent it out. I could do these other things. I don't have to worry about it. Secondly, I think we have a lot of buyers that are saying, single family homes are expensive. I don't know if I ever want to get there, and I'm okay not getting there. Their goal is the condo, right? That is their property ownership goal. They're not looking at the condo as a stepping stone. So they're staying in these condos more often. And then the third thing I think is happening is we are building a lot more condos. I think condos are a lot more prevalent in our marketplace, especially among new construction. And I think this has really just changed sort of these buyer tastes. And I think that's a permanent change. I don't think that's temporary. We saw condos really got a lot of flack at the beginning of the pandemic. I think we're kind of over that. And that condo market is actually looking very strong compared to our entry-level single-family homes. Now, if we look at our 14-day still active percentage, these numbers also are starting to look a little bit more like 2021. But again, here's something fascinating. Remember, higher is less competitive. For most of the time, condos are less competitive than single-family homes. Then they got to this point earlier this year, they're about the same. And look, we've had an inversion. The condo market is now more competitive than the entry-level single-family home market. How about that? And then finally, the final sort of piece in this puzzle that we're talking about, let's look at our week supply of homes. If we're looking here, we have just under 4 weeks of condos, right? That's still relatively a low-level inventory market. But look at our single-family homes, a little over 4 weeks. And what's crazy about that is look at this spread in the past. We've always had more condo inventory in terms of weeks of homes than we have had single family. They came together and they have finally inverted in the past week. So again, more evidence that this is a different market than the kind of market we have seen before. So whatever advice that you've heard or that you've been given, you want to question all of that because it won't necessarily apply going forward. Anyhow, happy Friday 13th, everybody. If you are a home buyer and you are excited that you're not going to face 20 offers on every listing, absolutely reach out to us. We would love to hear from you. If there's anything else we can do, questions, comments, we'd love to hear that as well. And do not forget to like, subscribe, and smash that notification bell so you hear about our future videos. Have a great weekend, everybody. Stay cool. We will see you again real soon.